What's going on, Vapor fans? Welcome back to the Straight Volt. New season, new setup. Are you guys ready for the new show? Today we're going to be talking about the HB6 battery, which is a battery that's been with us for a long time. A lot of cloud chasing favorites using the HB6 battery. However, this time it's going to come in a brand new wrapper. So to find out whether the new one is going to be better or worse, you're just going to have to stick with us to find out. As always, before we begin, shoutouts to our juice sponsor, Suicide Bunny. Suicide Bunny, you guys already know, makers of fine juices like Mother's Milk, Derailed, Madrina, and Sucker Punch over here. They also have different lines as well as King's Crown and Company over here. But they recently also come out with a couple of new juices, Mother's Milk and Cookies, Bunny Season, and Queen Cake. So check them out. You'll find them at a retailer near you. If you check out the retailer section over here, they are all over the world. So, Peg, do you like Suicide Bunny? Suicide Bunny, I drink that stuff. What? Alright, so let's begin over at the dive cam over here. So we're going to look at both batteries over here. The HB6, long-time buddy of ours, right? 30 amp battery. So looking at the two batteries over here, there's really not much difference other than the off-white wrapper and the Pepto-Bismol kind of ish color. Other than that, same height, same dimensions, same four-pronger up top. Okay, again, on the Straight Volt over here, we do not cut up the batteries because batteries could come from all sorts of different plants and the markings on it will tell you absolutely nothing. In order to find out exactly what is going on the inside, we're going to have to go to our favorite moment of the show, which is graph time. Alright guys, so as always, we're sitting here at the Straight Volt battery graphs. Let's go over to the LG batteries. I got the HB6 and the HB6 Pink pulled up over here. But before we begin, I want to real quick pull up the discharge curve of the regular HB6, okay? And remind you guys exactly what the HB6 looks like. So on this one over here, you got 95.3. When you're dealing with the HB6, because the density is so small, it's only 1500 milliamp hours, right? It's very difficult to get 96 plus, you know, so that it's an A grade battery, okay? In this case, because of the numbers, once it's off by just like a teeny bit, it's going to lose a lot of percentage, right? So in my opinion, anything above a 94% when it comes to 1500 milliamps, that's pretty much an A-grade battery. Pretty much, okay? Definitely you want to hit like 95 and over, at least a 95, something like that. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Because, you know, it's a smaller battery. So if you lose a little bit of milliamp hours, it hurts. It hurts a lot towards the percentage, okay? So, but what we see over here, right, because what we know is that this thing is a 1500 mAh battery. But what do we have over here? We have 1430. So there's like a 70 mAh loss, right? No big deal. It's really not hurting anyone. But again, that 70 mAh loss equals 4.7%. You know what I mean? It's huge. Okay, so let me go ahead and then overlay. Okay, so we can see over here, right, that the HB6 discharge is a little bit better than the off-white version. This is the pink version, okay? Now you get 97.9, all right? But I want you guys to see the difference. On the graphs over here, again, because we're only dealing with small density batteries over here, right? So the difference is going to look huge, okay? But what's really going on? Again, 1430 versus 1469. So there's only like a 39 mAh difference, okay? You will barely feel this. You will barely feel this. It just looks huge on the graph, okay? Just keep that in mind. But what I do want to say, right, is that like the discharge curve over here, it's holding the charge a little bit better than the red one is, okay? Excuse me, the off-white one. The pink one is a little bit better than the off-white one, as far as holding a charge here, okay? Because we're discharging this thing at only half an amp, all right? So that doesn't mean that it's going to outperform it or anything. In fact, for that, we're going to go over to the In fact, for that, we're going to go over to the performance profile right now. So let's get rid of this. Okay, don't bother saving this. Let's go back, and then we're going to go over with the PowerPoint over here. Okay, so power profile over here to show for the old HB6, right? This is basically what the curve looks like. Okay, and what I'm going to do is that, you know, somewhere around over here, let's get the data over here. This is at 26 amps over here, right? At 26 amps, it's still holding 2.5 volts of electricity. All right, so want to go ahead and then show you guys the overlay to the pink HB6, right? So this is the HB6 PowerPoint in pink, right? And then see this? See the big difference on this one? Okay. Again, right? What happens here is that density versus amperage, right? The less density, the more amperage you're going to get. The more you try to, you know, increase on the density, you're going to lose out on the performance in the amperage part. So what do we have over here? What I guess what I should do, right, is like change the line color to like, maybe I don't have pink, so we'll go with violet over here. And then again, right, I don't have an off-white milky color or whatever, so I guess I just have to use yellow, right? So this is going to be our original HB6, and then this is the new HB6 in the new packaging, right? I personally think, hands down, right, that the old HB6 is better than the new HB6, okay, for vapors. So let's come back up top and let me give you my final thoughts on these two batteries. Alright, so what do I think about the HB6 batteries? Let me give you my exact broken down thoughts on this, and hopefully you guys will feel the exact same way, okay? What do I think? I think the pink battery, although it was supposed to be better, right, but not necessarily, because we are using this for vaping reasons as opposed to, you know, somebody else who's using this in a drill or in a car or, you know, in battery packs, whatever, you know, their application would be. But for our application, right, we're just looking for the straight up amperage, and I don't think anybody is going to go ahead and cry over 39 mAh. You know what I mean, when it comes to wanting that hard-hitting battery. That, well, I shouldn't exactly say hard-hitting, but the, you know, high amperage potential battery, right? So I think that still, at the end of the day, people are going to go with the off-white HB6 after seeing the stats of the graph time versus the pink one, okay? So the pink one is still good, but the milky white one is still going to, you know, still the king of the hill when it comes to amperage. And I think when you have chosen to go with this kind of battery, you know, milliamp hours is just completely out the window for you, and you're just all about the amperage, right? So definitely you're gonna go with this one. Now, something that I want to talk about, right? You're gonna ask me exactly, well, Peg, what is the amperage of the pink one and what is the amperage of the off-white one? Well, I could go back and then show you the curve over here, and that this is, you know, what basically pretty much benchmarks of what the 30 amps should curve like. Okay, so if we were to say that the yellow line over here is in fact indeed a 30 amp battery, right, then we could go ahead and then assume kind of sort of maybe that like the pink battery is around like the 28-ish. But if we were to go ahead and say like, well, you know, LG is still correct and saying that this is a 30 amp battery, then the milky white one is slightly an overachiever, and then that thing would be considered as 32 amps. I think there's like a 2 amp-ish discretion between the two, but I can't tell you exactly which one is 30 and the other one is not. Do you see what I'm saying? So coming back up top again, I just got to say that, like, you know, there is no magical device. This is all a kind of sort of guesstimation after doing a lot of testing, because again, if you understand anything about, you know, the batteries, they are made like cookies. They come out in different kind of batches, and they're not all the same. We need to filter out which ones are the A bins, which ones are the B bins, and then, you know, test them an average of what it's going to be, and then try to give it an average number, you know. If I were to give it like my best description, it would probably be something along the lines of maximum strength medication. You know what I mean? Maximum strength Bufferin, maximum strength, aspirin or something like that. Let's figure out exactly what the maximum strength is, and then back it off a little bit, and then sell that, right? So we know that medicine comes in milligrams, right? Let's say the maximum allowable human dosage of brand X medicine was like, 100 milligrams, right? So do you back it off to 90 milligrams, or do you back it off to 99 milligrams? You know what I mean? You probably could do something a little bit safer. And that's exactly what these benchmarks are, right? The battery itself could probably go under like enormous stresses, right, to handle up like 40, 45 amps. We just don't tell the consumer this, because if you do, then people are going to be like, okay, then I'm going to try 40, 45 amps. You probably shouldn't, right? Because you don't know if what you have is a strong A or a weak A, even if you got it out of the A bin, right? And even worse, what if you ended up something out of the B or C bin? Then you definitely shouldn't try this. So what it says with the 30 amp battery, right, is so that under nominal conditions and everything, right, under not exactly a full charge or whatever, it's still going to be able to pull off the numbers safely. See what I'm saying? And all I could tell you is that there is probably a 2 amp discretion between these two. So either this is 32 and this is 30, or this is 30 and this is 28. Something along the lines of that, okay? Okay, so that's it for the Straight Volt. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. As we always say here on PVA, question everything, do your homework, vape clever, my friends. Take care. Thanks for watching, and to learn more about batteries or vaping in general, please click on the banner and visit PegasusVaporAcademy.com.